Okay, we're up and running. So we've got the I've got the Raspberry Pi up, and over the weekend I went to. Well, let me give it a second for like people to get in here. So over the weekend I went to a ham fest down in Athens, and I ended up picking up a FT-817ND, which is what's known as a QRP rig. So its maximum power is 5 watts, but it runs off battery, and I want to be able to use this for POTA work, maybe even SOTA work, which is Parks on the Air and Summit on the Air. So I have it hooked up to the Raspberry Pi, and as we can see, it's receiving fairly well. Now, unfortunately, there was a geomagnetic storm last night. There was a coronal mass injection. So currently band conditions are, to use the word, absolutely terrible at the moment. So I don't know if this is actually going to work. Right now the rig is plugged into the base power supply, so it's running on full power. After I have some tests, I want to take it off the power supply and run it off the internal battery, because it came with a Yaseu FN, I think it's like the 558, which is the NiCad battery pack. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty old battery pack, so I don't know if it seems to be holding a charge. I just don't know how well it's actually working. So I think what we're just going to do is I'm going to just start sending CQ, and we will see what comes out of it. So we should start coming up in the first transmission. I have had a rough few days. I've been dealing with some, shall we say, not so great memories. Yeah, so we can see that I also put a webcam. I finally found my USB webcam. So we now have Rigovision, although you really can't see the transmit receive light all that well. The FT-817 is the top rig. The bottom one is my Yaseu, which I can't find its short connection cable, so I have to use it with a detach kit. So we'll see if we actually get hurt at all. But yeah, it was... Yeah, I heard about the election in Poland. It was definitely... definitely a thing. I don't know enough about Polish politics to know for like sure how good, bad it is. So the question is, I tested it with the antenna tuner, and it is putting out 5 watts. There is a good chance that we get absolutely nothing out of it because of the band conditions. But we'll see if this gets hurt at all. Like, this could be a complete bust, unfortunately, because of the band conditions. Let's see here. I'm waiting to see if I even get hurt at all by the spotter network. Because there could also be other things wrong. Let me see here. I'm pretty sure it's keying up. Yeah, okay, you can just barely see the red there in the corner. And power output bar is full. This is nice. I don't have to get up from my desk to go look at it. I'll still have to go adjust it because unfortunately this rig is just like my main one, does not have particularly good cat control. But it doesn't look like we're being hurt at all, which is a little depressing. But we'll see. Like I said, unfortunately, band conditions are just absolutely terrible today. But I just wanted to throw the stream up and, I don't know, not be stewing on my own thoughts all that much. It's also possible there's something wrong with the setup, which is why it's not getting out. Because even in bad conditions, I would still think I'd be hurt at least a little bit. But currently, absolutely nothing, which is concerning. Yeah, so push to talk's going on. It's going into digital mode. It's in the right band plan, so it's definitely going out. But I also notice that we're not getting any decodes yet. It stopped decoding at some point. Hold transmission. Let me see if we actually get any decodes, because the fact that it stopped decoding, like I was testing it earlier and I was getting lots of decodes, and now it's not getting any, which is slightly concerning. Like it was going all the way up to receive signal at about S7. Yeah, this is like the rule of demos. You put up the stream, you try and do something, and nothing happens. I almost wonder if the band just suddenly went away on me. I mean, it would be kind of like part of the course for this project. I'm still going to keep trying. So let me put the enable transmit line on, and let's see if anything happens. The fact that it's not hearing anything, like I was hearing well earlier, like 20 minutes ago. So if it just went completely away, you know, it's how it is. And, you know, I like to think that, yeah, there is a solar storm. I was receiving fairly well earlier, like, and when I say earlier, I mean like 20 minutes earlier. So the fact that it completely stopped receiving entirely is slightly concerning. Let me... Hold on. Make sure it's still on the right band. Thank you, Costas. Yeah, I mean, there is a complete chance that this is going to be a complete goose egg. But I am completely surprised that I have completely seemed to have lost reception. Like, it's showing on the rig. If I make this full screen. Yeah, it's hearing it S5 to S8, and I can hear tones coming in. Because the rig speaker is loud enough that I can hear it in this room. So the fact that it's not hearing it all is a little concerning. Okay, so input out. Okay, so you're listening. Yeah, so you're listening to the right place. Like, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to throw the stream up and work on it. So yeah, it's definitely... I would have to move the antenna to 10 meters to try that. Let me see it. Let me look at the reception reports. Maybe 10 meters will be more open than not. Like I said, I have to go outside and move the antenna to do that. So let's pull up the reception reports. Let's see what bands may or may not be usable. So I want to look at any one. So 10 meters is definitely looking like it's wide open. 20 meters, how's 20 meters looking? 20 meters definitely looks like it's open. Let's see here. Like, what's the power level of some of these connections? See, what's bothering me is it's not decoding. Like, I'm hearing FT-8 traffic. So make sure we're on FT-8, which we definitely should be. Rig is on FT-8. It's in digital mode. Hold on, let me put it back on upper sideband, because I think that was working. Maybe it's on the wrong setting. Yeah, I mean, I hear it just fine, like audibly. Like, I can hear FT-8 traffic and the noise. Yeah, and that decodes. Okay, so the rig's got to be on the wrong setting. It must be on. It must be on user L because that's decodes. Those are perfectly valid and good decodes. Yeah, I am just curious. If I try it on with the rig set like this, is it going to actually do anything? I've never like here. Let me just hit tune. Yeah, I hit tune. It keys up, but there's no signal going out. So I think I gotta adjust the rig. Just give me a moment, because Alright, that would explain why it suddenly was not working. This is, like I said, this is me getting all the kinks out of the setup before I try and do actual POTA work. Because there's 3 or 4 POTA locations that are all reasonably close, even 1 or 2 that are walking distance. So let me take a look. Yeah, that would do it. Rig was on the wrong mode. Alright, so let me clear the band activity. Let's make sure we're still getting decodes. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, we're hearing pretty good now. Ooh. A Jersey, Reagan Jersey. I'm not going to try to work it because I've tried to work I actually know that station. I've tried to work them several times. I've never had any success. So, let's start throwing some CQs out. And now that's saying, I think we're at, it's going at full power. Yeah, so it's power 5 watts. That's actually interesting how this has a much better SWR meter when it's on transmit. So the question is, now am I actually getting heard? I am getting heard. Okay, that was the problem. That was completely the problem. So if I pull over the reception graph here, oh, wrong one. The things that say 0 over it mean those stations were able to successfully heard me and then reported me back into the PSK reporter network. So if we keep calling CQ, there is a good chance we'll actually make a contact. Yeah. I mean, Costas, I could move the antenna down to 10 meters if you want to try to make a two-way contact. I've not made a single contact on 2 meters. Hey, we got someone in France that hears us. And we're hearing them at minus 18 decibels. I am curious of what they're hearing me back at. So that's actually a good sign that after we make a couple of contacts, I'm going to switch the rig over to battery power. From what I've read, I've never really done much with, I believe it's nickel metal hydride batteries in this rig. Yeah, they're hearing me at minus 22, so I am just above the noise floor. But considering it's 5 watts, and I probably have, I think my feed line's about 25 feet, so I'm easily losing a watt in the feed line. That's an excellent result. I mean, I literally just worked France. I'm going to move the camera over to the desktop for when I'm doing regular streaming. I just finally dug it out and found it. Okay. So, yep, there's the RRR. They received my report, so it's going to prompt me to log here in a moment. Do I have the little program running? I don't have the little program running. I think I had to reboot this last night. Yeah, there we go. So that handles the logging part for me. So it's still it's waiting for the 73 to finish the actual one. I could log it as is, because it did technically finish the QSO, but I tend to like to see if it will automatically do it. So yeah, we're in business. Working at 5 watts. I was a little worried. This rig was sold in the box in seemingly new condition. It's definitely not new. I've already noticed that there's some small changes, and the microphone cable it came with was broken. So I plugged the cable in. Yep, there it is. So transmit power 5 watts. I'm actually really happy about that. And this Italy station's actually calling me back immediately. So, okay. That's actually not bad at all. You know, a lot of people say, you know, yeah, this was... I paid a little bit more for it than I think I should have. I think I got it for 460 euros, but it was complete in box with all the accessories. Although I didn't notice at the time that the microphone cable had one of its ends damaged, so it doesn't really work. But I was able to test it on 2 meter, and it was fine, but I didn't have a power meter to test if it was actually putting out the 5 watts. I guess it's technically 6 watts, because this is an 817ND. The serial number starts with 3, which means it was made in 2003 or 2013, but this appears to have 60 meters on it in its band menu. It was a little weird because when I was flipping through the bands on the rig, it went from 40 to 30 to 10, and then it went to 6 megahertz and then 3 megahertz. I was able to take the tuning knob and I tuned it all the way back down to 5 megahertz, which is 60 meters. But yeah, okay, we are making connections on QRP. So the plan with this is to basically take the rig and operate it on battery power from a park. This rig will run off 8 AA's or a lithium its battery pack. I've ordered a much better battery pack for it. There's a LiPo 3000 milliamp one from Winmark. The problem is it's coming from AliExpress, so it will probably take about 2 months to get here. But I need a reason to go out. Like, a lot of times I don't even leave the house at most, and even if I do, it's largely just to do shopping. So it's not great. So if I have a reason to go out and, like, do things, I think it would be a good thing. I'm not sure if this rig has the DSP on it. I hit DSP and it seems to be in display, so it may be no better at machine decoding CW than my main rig, but the fact that it is working is actually quite good, because what I'll do is I'll pair this with my Chromebook and then use it out in the field. Like, I feel a lot better with this purchase knowing that it's, like, actually doing it. I think I can log this contact. Yeah, he's working a different station now, so I will halt contact and I'll manually log that one. So 5 watt transmission power does actually seem to be good. Let's do a few other ones, and then I kind of want to cut over to the battery pack and basically see how that works. Yeah, so I'm hearing Spain, I'm hearing Eastern Russia, France, and Ukraine. We could try working that Ukraine station before I try cutting over to the battery pack. Because, oh, nope, someone beat me to it. Last night, around 11 here, I actually worked a really good band opening. It was right before the storm hit. but I worked 3 Brazil stations, an Argentinian station, and a Ugandan one, as well as one out of China. So I was doing that at 50 watts with the big rig. Yeah, I think I actually worked Alpha 7-1 Alpha Tango last night. So yeah, that is definitely an improvement. I don't know if in Greece if I can legally sign it /QRP. But even if whether I can or can't, it doesn't really matter. It's still 5 watts. So yeah, this will definitely be my POTA setup. Yeah, I've heard South America a few times. I was able to work a station out of Belize. Well, it wasn't South America. That would have been Central America. I got Belize in the logbook, and I think I've worked Brazil once before, but it was a very marginal connection, even with FT-8. But last night, I had excellent propagation, both, around the world. The farthest I think I've actually worked is, yep, that's a Spanish station calling in. So when I switch over to the battery pack, the rig will reduce its transmit power to 2.5 watts. I don't know if I want to run with 2.5 or if I want to run at 5. The way power works in amateur radio is it's logarithmic. Basically, from 1 watt to 5 watt is a S2 increase in transmission. Then it's another S1 bar, I think, to 10 watts. Another one to, and then you have to go all the way to 100 watts. Like, you get diminishing returns on power. No, like I said, I've worked Oceania. Yeah, I don't think it's legal here. When I'm going to be working POTA, I will be, the regs that I read, as I understand them, for regular Greek call signs, they have to, yeah, /A in Greece is Mount Athos instead of the usual alternative location. So I would be /P for portable when I do POTA, and I might do POTA this week if the battery pack actually holds a charge. It does turn on now. I've had it sitting on the charger for 10 hours, and from what I understand about these batteries is they generally don't age out like lithium-ion ones and become inoperable, but I'll probably have to drain it and recharge it a few times before I'll get good use out of it. And I can also carry AAA batteries for more, I guess the word I would use is oomph, because I can break down, because my antenna is a portable whip, so I can take it to parks all around Greece, and then as I get more or less into better shape, yeah, that's Michael Whiskey. I believe that's an English station. So yeah, I'm actually, considering it's 5 watts. Yeah, no, I mean, here, let's look at the propagation graph. I'm not getting heard outside of Europe, but I'm being heard very well within Europe. As well as in Israel. Yeah, Asiatic Turkey, Cyprus station's hearing me. And I'm being heard as far as Tel Aviv. That doesn't surprise me. That's not close. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm getting heard all the way up in Scotland, Estonia, Finland. So yeah, even though the band conditions are terrible today, I'm still hearing the rest of Europe, which is kind of nice. Like, not gonna lie, that's definitely a big old fat W in my book. Yep, so 5 watts. I mean, it's not even a bad signal report, all things considered. I might even try and do some PSK modes as well, but like I said, this is really just breaking in the rig. Like, this is actually the first rig I've bought since I bought the 817ND. I told myself I wasn't going to buy another Yaseu, but there are I don't want to use the word better because people seem to think rigs are the end-all be-all of radio. I could theoretically get the G90. It's a Chinese HF rig. It does 20 watts, but it doesn't have an internal battery. It does have an internal tuner, but like I said, I've got a collapsible whip that is specifically... It's literally what I'm using right now, and I've been extremely happy with its performance, which really goes to show you that 9 times out of 10, the antenna is going to matter more than the actual power you put into it. Like, I do operate at 50 watts if I want to work DX, because that extra half S level is generally the difference between making it over the ocean and not. But oh, I got 2 stations that heard me. I heard a Ukrainian and a Russian station heard me at the same exact time. So yeah, I am actually legitimately happy about that. So I think I'm going to flip the power supply off after we finish this QSO, and we'll try running on battery for a while. In theory, the battery... I've heard mixed results of what this battery will actually do under practice. And I should probably set a stopwatch once I do it. Yep. He's hearing me at Q13. I think I've also got to set the rig power to run. I think I'm going to run it at 5 watts. Because again, the band conditions are that bad. And if I want to just do a few recharge cycles with the battery, that's probably ideal. Wait for the 888 to come. That station's still calling me, that Russian one. He must really want me in his logbook. Because he's got to see that I'm working the Ukrainian one. Technically, I could log it right now, but I usually wait until the 73 comes in. I almost feel like I should change this to RRR73. Yeah, you know what? I'll log that and I'll work the other station. Wow, I heard that station really good. I'm hearing them at +4. Yeah, so in other news, I mean, I'm pretty sure my video is doing you know, the view count is going up slowly. Like, it didn't take off out of the gate like I was hoping it was going to do, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. And, you know, for once, Discord is actually working. Like, I've had so many problems with Discord in the last few days. Alright. I think that Russian station's gone away. So, okay, so transmit's off. I'm going to go turn off the power supply. Oh, that's my headphones dropping. And I am going to go see, and let's try running this on battery. Well, that's slightly concerning. The rig's power supply says the voltage gauge on the rig says it's got 8.7 volts. It might not be able to transmit, but we'll try. Enable transmit. Because this is basically the setup I'm going to be using when I do POTA activations. So let's see if we can get a... So it's in transmit. Oh, and it died. Yeah, that battery's not holding a charge. Yeah, it turned off. Oh, that's unfortunate. I could try low power, but I suspect that cell has just completely had it. Alright. Oh, that's not what I want. Alright, I guess that means if I'm going to do portable work, I'm going to be putting AAAs in it, or AAs in it. Which is a little unfortunate. Can I please resize this window? Alright, yeah, good enough. Let me flip the rig back on. Well, it did transmit on that, although I just realized that I accidentally pushed the camera out of the window. Okay, so am I still being heard? Yeah, I actually still am being heard. I reduced the transmit power. I think it's at either 1 watt or 2.5 watts, so definitely not a whole lot of power coming out of it. So, definitely calling CQ. Might as well try working someone. Let's see here. Am I still being heard? Yeah, I am still being heard. I'm just not being heard very well. But I am being heard. Okay. So, let me see here. What does it say my power out is? And also, I've drifted off frequency. So, when it goes click... So I am transmitting at 1 watt. Is it mirrors to say that battery is at 7.7 volts? I think that, yeah, it's 8.7. I want to see what it says when it goes to transmit. $7.6. Yeah, and that battery is falling. Or is that 6 it's saying? I can't tell. With the webcam being the way it is. Oh, someone actually heard me. Wow, that station in France heard me at 1 watt. That's actually kind of impressive that I successfully am working at Contact in France. I've ordered a much better battery pack than the one I have. Though, like I said, I ordered a lithium ion one, which has 3,000 hours. For when I want to work in the park right now. So yeah, that was a 1 watt contact. I need to go look at the radio, and I want to see what the voltage gauges actually say. It would be nice if I could edit this. Come on. Don't tell me my... There we go. So that was a 1 watt QSO. And they heard me at minus... They heard me at -7. So, yeah, let me hit enable transmit, and then I'm going to look at it on the ring and see how low down it's going. Yeah, so it's going down to 7.6 volts according to the rig meter. I don't remember what the actual minimum is. Like I said, I am a little concerned that undervolting it might do something bad to the radio. Well, I can use AA batteries in the short term. I could rebuild it with new cells, but I still have to get new cells. It's also possible the pack will come back after it's been discharged and recharged a couple of times. Because I don't think it would harm it. I might just have to let it sit and receive. So it may read 7.6 volts. Like I said, I'm currently just kind of reading various things. So how are we actually being heard right now? We are being heard. We were heard 1 minute ago in Cyprus. And a bunch in Romania. Yeah, it's... going down to 1 watt really does change the, shall we say, changes the math. Because that's showing 8.4 while it's in receive. What I probably should do is I should just let it listen so it discharges. Yeah, like 7.4. Those voltages are dropping very fast. So that's almost certainly memory effect in action. .7.5, .7.4. that was not what I wanted to click. How do I get you out of full screen mode? There we go. So yeah, that's interesting. Like, it is definitely... At 1 watt, it's not particularly usable. Although that time I was heard pretty far off. Oh, that's a Spanish station calling me back at 1 watt. I find it, like I said, I find it very interesting that it's basically... I think, like I said, I think if I let the cell run all the way to flat and recharge it, it might get better performance. Because essentially I just need to rehabilitate the cell. It's interesting that, like I said, I am definitely being heard. So what? Yeah. So what I'm reading here is if I discharge, recharge. Yeah, if I keep doing deep discharges, recharges, it will basically come back to full. Probably takes about 4 to 5 cycles. But if this basically just works as is, I will be happy with it. The fact that it's working at all is actually kind of nice. Like I said, I'm a little worried that undervolting it is going to cause me some issues. I'm wondering if I should try running at 2.5 watts to put a little bit more load on the cell. But I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I mean, the fact of the matter is I am being heard. Not amazingly well, but considering that it's literally 1 watt out, I'm getting spots all across Europe. This station keeps calling me. I keep calling them back. Yeah, because now that says it's at 8.3. You know what? Why don't we try? Let me bump the power up 1 notch. We'll see if it'll do anything at 2.5 watts. Oh, and I moved the camera by accident. Okay, so we should now be on 2.5 watts. See what's definitely, let's see if we get any more. Yeah, let's just call CQ. Apparently, I didn't successfully change it to 2.5 because that's still saying that it's at 1 watt out. So erase that. So now it should be doing another CQ. Transmits on. Actually, that may be... No, that is 2.5 watts. Because that's halfway to where it needs to be. So, yeah. I mean, it's about what I would expect for QRP performance. So I am a little worried about... Let me see here, voltage. Yeah, that battery pack is definitely discharging quickly. Because now its read voltage, its load voltage says 8.2. So my guess is I'm only going to get another few minutes of this before it'll turn off again. Yep, there it goes. Just turned off. So let me flip on the external power supply. It was not wanting to turn on. Hold on. I gotta make sure transmit's off. Halt transmit. Okay, so it's now saying 10 hours to fully charge the battery. It did not want to turn back on, which was a little concerning. So now that we're back on full power, let me call CQ and see how it's behaving. We should see that we're on 5 volts, or 5 watts coming out now. But we're not. So let me switch. Oh yeah, because maybe I manually set the power. Now it's back on 5 watts. Oh, and an Italian state, a Canadian in Italy is calling me back. Actually, I'll leave it there. Okay, I'm actually legitimately happy about that. So, yeah, I think after a couple of recharge cycles, that battery might actually come back. Yeah, they're hearing me at R1. So, despite absolutely garbage band conditions, it is definitely things going in the right direction. So, next thing I would have to do is I have to get my laptop set up. The other thing is that I have a second set of Yaseu cables, which is handy, which means that, yeah, so this was a 5-watt connection. So yeah, the rig seems happy enough. I'm tempted to try doing some PSK or, like, yeah, like trying to put a PSK contact in the book. We might be waiting quite a while to make that contact, but I think it might be a neat thing to do. I'm back. I don't recognize 2E as a prefix. That is an interesting way of saying it, that you're operating at 15 watts. Because there is that QRP station. So that would be a QRP to QRP contact. So how are we currently doing as far as reception goes? Yeah, no, I mean, being heard in Sweden, being heard in Finland. I just got picked up just short of Portugal, so being heard well in Spain. I do want to get my 2-meter antenna up and try working some weak signal modes on that. But yeah, that's a French station calling me back, so That's working. So now I actually attempted to try doing some PSK and seeing if we can make any contacts. I have not had amazing luck with PSK in the past, but putting this rig through its paces definitely feels like a good project. I have an idea of what I'm going to be doing as my next main project, but there's so many things I need to do. Like, I think the next main project I'm going to be doing is... I'm tempted to, like, do something with the free and open source release of System Source. Not System Source, System Shock 2. They released the code to the Macintosh version a few years ago. So, like, digging out that source code, setting it up, and doing something with it kind of feels like a decent option. I don't know. It's like, I'm going to have to dig out a lot of old and tools to make that work, which is like nothing new for this channel, but let's see here. Do we get the 7.3 or are we going to resend the RRR? Yeah, we're going to resend the RRR. Yeah, I definitely want to see if we try some PSK31 and see if we get any sort of luck. I think after I let the battery run a couple of charge cycles, there's a good chance it will a couple of other ones. Yeah, okay, so he's here. He hasn't actually heard my RRR. So let me see what else they say about reviving these. Because mine's not completely dead. Doesn't seem like it wants to finish that QSO. Like I said, I'm mostly just reading it right now. It's also completely possible that, yep, well, we got that QSO. It's also completely possible that this is just, like, completely and totally dead. I think if I'm going to do POTA work this week, I'll put AA cells in the battery. And what I'll do otherwise... You know what? Screw it. I want to see if we can work that Belarusian station. I've already got Belarus in my logbook, but... I always like working interesting and different targets. If they don't respond in a second or two, we'll throw up PSK31 and we'll do a little bit of that. Or ready. Yeah, I think PSK31, because again, if the band conditions are actually... Actually, if the band conditions are this bad, Olivia would probably be the mode to use, because it's designed for really terrible band conditions. Like, this isn't going to be a particularly long stream, but... Let's see here. Analytics, awards, notes. Because I have all the frequency bands down on where... Yeah, that station's not hearing me. Alright, so... Why don't we try and do some PSK11, not PSK11, PSK31 contacts. So, let's see here. FL Digi. So we now need to go a little lower in the band. I would like you not to be maximized. Come on. There we go. So, yeah, configure mode of operation PSK31. That might be a 60. Oh no, that is actually a contact. So, let me go to my config. I just want to set operator station. Because that's used on the station brag. It might be hard coded in. Yeah, 5. All right, so 5 watts. D, apply. Yeah, we can definitely try and work that station. So that's an Italian station. Let's send an answer. Let's see if they hear us. Oh, they do hear us. SVOTOH. They're not hearing us well. Let's try replying again. I might have lost them, unfortunately. Oh, no. SVOTOHDE. Hey, yeah, no. Oh, that's a different station that's calling me back. Okay. I think I hit the wrong button. Okay. QSO, it's been a while since I've done these. Let's see your contest reply. Yep, they're hearing me. They're hearing me good. Yep, and they're in Milan. So that would be I think that goes into country code. How copy? Answer. Wait for them to finish. Hey, we managed to. That is a successful PSK QSO. So I can log that. Make sure I've only logged it once. Oh, nope. Delete. So that's a duplicate. Yeah, you can definitely tell that the bands have been seeing better days. It's interesting how much lower the noise level is here as compared to other ones. But yeah, that was a successful PSK. I'm going to move down to the 500 bracket, and we will just call CQ. I didn't mean to call ICQ, but yeah, good enough. So this should automatically... Yeah, that will automatically just keep resending the CQ. We'll do it a little longer, and then I think we're going to call it. Like, this isn't going to be a particularly long stream, but... Like, when they say you can work the world on 5 watts, they really do mean it. It's been a little spotty, but I've definitely been able to work a fair number of stations. Lincoln. I guess Lycan would be the way you say that. But yeah, I was working at FT-8 fairly well. We even got a few off the internal battery pack. I think after a few discharge cycles, that battery might actually come back. Which will be nice. If I do POTA work this week, though, I'll probably just pop in 8 AA's and do it that way. See if anyone... Oh, hold on. I see you. I see you. Hold on. I see you. Yeah, I see SQ5 Fox. That station started to call you, though, instead, though. I'm testing a new radio, and we're currently doing keyboard-to-keyboard modes with PSK31. Unfortunately, band conditions at the moment are what they call very terrible. But yeah, I actually hear SQ5 Fox. They don't... he doesn't seem to be able to hear me, though. This is what's known as a QRP rig, and Mare 2. So it only runs at 5 watts. It's meant for portable and emergency use. Yeah, this is me doing some amateur radio stuff as kind of a break. I have some idea of what I'm going to do as, like, my next video, but I haven't quite figured that one out yet. And the battery is charging while it's plugged into the base power supply, which is nice. So it does seem like every aspect of this rig works. What I think after a few charge-discharge cycles, it should be more or less okay. Yeah, I was able to watch your QSO. Like I said, band conditions are pretty terrible today. And with me working only QRP, I'm playing on hard mode. Unfortunately, basically all the spotter services have largely died for PSK31. Like, there used to be a fairly good spotter network for it, but the mode only gets used by a handful of people. It's actually really kind of sad that FT-8 has basically become, I hate to say like the gold standard, but it kind of is. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm shooting 5 watts out, and I was only operating on 1 or 2.5 volts on the battery pack because it was that low. But I think I'm going to do POTA later in the week. I've got 3 parks that are all like 20 20 seconds. Yeah. I've had this really stupid idea of trying to net boot Linux over amateur radio, and now that I've got 2 good radios, because the FT-817 will do 2 meter. It even has a 2 meter rubber duck I can use with it, although its placement's a little awkward. Like, it'd be nice if I could bend it. Apparently that rubber duck also... Oh, I got another contact. That's I8. All right, let's answer them. Let's see if they hear us. I haven't made any PSK31 contacts in quite a while, so okay. And then I will put here and then back to you. Definitely not a fast mode, although it is faster than FT-8. There we go. There's the good afternoon. And they're hearing me 599. Yeah, I suspect the propagation to... Well, you said that your antenna setup had trouble on 20. I mean, if I really... Alright, so I will send him my gear brag. And then... Oh, actually, I have to change my age. I'm 37 now. That's also not true. It's not a random wire anymore. So yeah, this gear brag is actually a little out of date. I should fix that brag, but I think there is a way to just tell it. Yeah, there's the antenna option, so I can just set it in the options. Okay. I can log that, and I can be happy about it. Did he transmit? Yeah, he did transmit a grid square. Well, no, the country was Italy. I did actually hear... Oh, I do hear you. I do actually hear you, SJ Fox. Hold on. Your call sign got a little butchered. Answer? I saw your first message, but I'm not hearing it anything else at the moment, so oh, there we go. QSB meaning. I don't remember what QSB is. Oh, I'm fading. Answer. Oh, no. Wrong button, wrong button. Yeah, if I was operating at 10 watts or 50 watts, you'd probably hear me just fine. Like, band conditions are terrible today, like, actually terrible. A lot of people say the bands are terrible when they actually really aren't all that bad. But it's just come and go all day because of the solar storm we had last night. Let me look at what the actual conditions are. So currently, yeah, so the current 24-hour maximums is we have R1S1G4. Currently, it's RSG1. Let me see if I can find the actual Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm actually legitimately happy with that. Like, the rig works. On 5 watts, it's definitely usable with this antenna, which I was a little... considering that it's got a very long feed line because it has to go out the window, across, and into the yard. Definitely works. So let me pull up the logbook. And you can go normal. Because FL Digi doesn't get automatically logged like the other ones, so I can definitely go log in. And then we can import the log file. And that would be, yeah, logbook.qso. And that will also, yeah, that's fine. Oh, I didn't log, I actually didn't hit save QSO on that one. So I gotta go do that again. Fortunately, it won't duplicate ones it's already got. Although I do have to edit it because I accidentally left the contest. I still have it in contest mode, so let me delete the serial out of this. Serial stats contest, yeah. Yeah, it's like, it was definitely nice to get some PSK contacts. I kind of hate having them all be FT-8s. I have a whole lot of non-FT-8 contacts as SV3, KD2, J, or T. Let me go back into FL-Digi. Let's see here. Let me take it out of contest mode if I can remember how to do that. General, I think... No contest. Yep, that does it. And sadly, I won't get the squares I had logged, but whatever. Yeah. So I've also made. I'm a little bit under halfway to full DXCC. Who actually confirmed me recently? I worked at an Angolan station the other day. They charge for paper QSL cards. It makes sense, but they won't do a digital confirmation without it, which kind of annoys me. I'm not gonna lie, that actually really annoys me. Yeah, so I definitely got a bunch here, including Qatar. Oh yeah, I got Lebanon on the other night on air. So I think there is a way to have it like break down. Here, let me look at awards. If I want to go for DXCC, because that'll show me everyone I've worked and whatnot. Show DXCC map. Wow, that map's actually completely horrible. But yeah, you can see the ones that I have confirmed. So I have a confirmed VK contact. I did work Mongolia at one point, but I didn't get a confirmation. Not everyone logs them, or they make it easier said than done. But you can like see like there's some real oddball ones. Like here, Gibraltar has its own prefix, so it's definitely not there. Yeah, we could definitely try park to park. I will definitely do an activation sometime this week. It might be on AAA batteries, or not AAA, on AA batteries until I get the LiPo. But from what I've been told, you can still get about 2 hours of operation on AA's, and it's pretty close to where I am. So yeah, I got the US. Ooh, that Belize station did actually confirm the contacts, so that legitimately makes me happy. There's that Angolan one, which honestly I might pay. I might just pay for the paper QSO card, because if nothing else, getting mail from Mongolia does seem kind of neat. But I always hate the idea of paying for contacts. And then if we look at the other ones, the ITU zone map, which gives you an idea, which is basically the sections of the world that I have a two-way confirmed radio signal. St. Helena. Yeah, so here's Angola's all the way down here. I'm surprised that that's not there, considering... Where's that Angolan station? Overview... I worked him a while ago, so let me see if I can find him. I might have not logged a grid square with him, which is why it's not showing up. But I think I know the grid square. I can always type it in manually. Actually, I remember the call sign. It's DY... Yeah, there it is. Angola. Do I not have a grid square? I did put a grid square in there, so... Yeah, so Club Log confirmed it, but that was the only way I did get it confirmed. So I'll probably have to do, like, go out and actually send cards out. I haven't done any paper QSO cards in the past. So I could definitely do... We can do a few more before I think I'll call it. Like, this has actually been kind of mentally really... This has legitimately been kind of a nice mental breather, considering the last few days has not been mentally all that great for me. But yeah, I am actually quite happy with this working on PSK. As long as I can get the battery solution solved. I've got to get the Chromebook loaded up. I have to figure out if I actually have all the cable bits I need to make the rig go and do the thing. I don't have any reason to think I don't. But I'm going to have to go through, like, my bags and see if I actually do have it. So we'll call CQ a little longer and see if anyone actually answers. I also probably need to upgrade FL Digi at some point. And we can bring up the rig camera again. Like, later today I have to do Greek lessons, and like I said, I'm definitely having some thoughts on longer term what I want to be able to do or not do on the channel. I am seriously considering doing stuff with the System Shock source code. It's I also just remembered I have to change my brag to be 37 because my birthday just passed. And a little depressing there. We'll see if we can get like one more CQ, which would be nice. I'm definitely... I know it is possible to work long distance DX with QRP rigs. It's a lot harder, but it can be done. Yeah, I think there's... I'm pretty sure I can... Oh, someone hears me. That's a French station that hears me. Alright, QSO. I'll give him a report of 37. And then back to you. That should have been fading. Oh, here comes the brag. How is he hearing me 599? So this guy's transmitting from Piscany, north of Bordeaux. So there's the locator. QSO, send the me, send the brag, and then silent key it. I do like the different freeform ways you get these sort of messages. Okay, there we go. That was being a little bit annoying and trying to get that to log. And the operator is actually name. So I can save that. I'm actually really happy with this result. If the only thing actually wrong with this radio was the bad mic cable and the like I've got a new mic cable on the way. Oh, it's this transceiver. It's... Well, I would love to know the power you're transmitting at, but, yeah, it's definitely fading because of the band conditions. So they're using a Signal Link Express. And they're thanking me. Okay, cool. That's all the best for your QSO. I'm just going to take a... I think I want to take a slight break, and then I'm going to decide if I'm going to operate for a bit longer or not. So, yeah, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Well, I'll leave the stream up, but I'm going to hit the little break button. So, we'll see. I'm back. I think we'll work a few more. We'll go to the 2-hour mark. I am legitimately happy with this result. If the only thing wrong with this battery is actually, you know what? I'm tempted to run the beacon test and just see how far my propagation actually is going. So this will just send, actually that's not quite right. It should send VV. I'll let it send that. And then I'll cancel the timer. Because I just want to send out a Morse beacon and I want to just see how far it's actually, like, being heard. Yeah, so V, V, V. Which is the sign that I'm not really wanting any responses. Although I need to be actually in CW for that. So, switch mode. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I am curious if this rig will work better with CW decoding. Let me turn on the narrowband filter. That will reduce the transceiver's bandwidth to about... Oh, and of course I have to fix the camera again. Let me look at the reverse beacon network. Let's just, for just out of curiosity, let's see if we can work a CW contact. So CW, and this is basically everything we're seeing. There's a bunch of US. There's no way we'll successfully work the US today. Who can we potentially work? Yeah, wow, the band conditions are legitimately terrible today because I'm looking at... So there's a Saudi station at 117. Or, oh, wow, there's a Costa Rican station that's also active. I would love to work that, but the band isn't open for transatlantic. So it's just not going to happen. Just out of curiosity, let's set operator mode to CW. Just out of curiosity. So turn squelch basically off, lower you as low as you'll go. Because, you know, the noise level is so low. Yeah, that's definitely a CW transmission. Also, the camera's not pointing at the rig. What we got over here? If I lower this just a bit. Like, it's hard to tell if it's just decoding noise or if it's actually hearing something. Oh, you know, there's an Italian station a bit further down the band. That one I'm actually likely able to work. So let's try it. So 107, let me go a little bit lower so he'll be pretty much at 1000 for me. If that station is actually there. And we wait. And see if we hear anything. So I've never had particularly good luck with machine decoding on CW. Turn off tracking, because that's just going off into the stratosphere. It's interesting how we see like those blips of band-wide noise. And I'm not sure what to make of that. I also need to fix the chair, but I don't want to get up from my desk again. Yeah, we're not hearing anything. I have the distinct feeling this is probably a lost cause. There is a Swiss station higher up in the band. Like, could try that one. Wow, Fiji is currently on air and is being heard in the United States. No chance of actually hearing that ourselves. There is a QSO, there is a DXpedition that I would like to try and hunt. There's one on Baker Island, but that is quite literally the opposite side of the planet. I would need good propagation conditions to successfully hear that signal. Let's see here. There's a French station that. Yeah, quite a few stations on band today. Let's go a little higher just to see if we can hear something. Go down one. Oh, right there. That... I don't know if that was CW. Well, no, I heard it. It did sound like CW. That would be... Maybe? I mean, that would be right where I'd expect it to be if the reverse beacon network is to be believed. They're transmitting at 26 words per minute. Yeah, like I can audibly hear Morse code, But I think I'm going to have to sit down and actually either buy something that like really does more as well, or whatnot, because definitely no real success with otherwise doing it. Alright, I think I'm good at calling this stream here, so I'm going to sign off. This is your host and commander, wishing you all a pleasant day, and I will catch you all at a later point. I might even stream later tonight after my Greek lesson. I just need to kind of be ready for it. So, yeah. Alright, I will catch you all later. And stream.